So Baker Mayfield sure looks good. Let's talk about that for a sec. I'll get to Jayden Daniels in a sec, but Baker Mayfield, man. I said Josh Allen was player of the week. I might actually think Baker Mayfield might have been. We also just comment on this. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, are they ever going to get old? I mean, seriously, are they ever going to get old? How do they still do this? I mean, come on, man. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they both had great games. Evans had a couple of touchdowns. Godwin went over 100 yards and a touchdown. Baker, 4 touchdowns. Bro, the Bake Show, I mean, if you thought last year was a Bake Show, this year might be the real Bake Show. I'm excited. I'm actually excited to watch NFC South football this year. Because I think between the Bucs and Saints, look, again, it's hard because the Bucs and Saints both blew out bad teams. But they both looked good. And the Falcons, I think, will get better as Kirk gets healthier and more comfortable. I'm excited for this division. I'm excited to watch Bucs, Saints, Falcons right now, which is not something that I've been excited for. Last year, I ranked them all very low consistently throughout the season. I was shocked when the Bucs somehow won a playoff game. That was one of the more shocking games of the season for me. But my goodness, how about Baker? Yeah, I think he's found a home in Tampa. I think he might be there to stay. He signed the 3-year extension. I hope that he really has a good career. Kind of similar to Jared Goff, where it's like you're rooting for these guys who are on their second chance. It's a very different archetype though. Because when I grew up, it was all the old guys. It was Breeze, who'd been with the Saints for basically forever. But although we do forget this, the Saints was Breeze's second team. But then it was Peyton and Eli were in the same teams forever, and Tom Brady and Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers and Matt Ryan on the Falcons, Phillip Rivers on the Chargers. For the most part, everybody other than all the elite quarterbacks other than Breeze were all of them were good with the team that they initially drafted them. They all became legends with the team that drafted them. Breeze didn't. And, Kurt Warner, but that was before my time. Carson Palmer, but he was a veteran when he went to Arizona. Brady was a veteran when he went to Tampa. Rivers had that 1 year in Los Angeles, but and Peyton as well in Denver. But they all moved as veterans. They all moved to new teams when they were already Hall of Famers. Big Ben, Steelers, whole career. Eli Manning and the Giants. So it's definitely kind of a new archetype of a quarterback, is the guy who maybe struggles early, gets cast off, and finds his home. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, those are the two best examples of it. It's hard to, you could lump Geno in there, but he's not really the same case because Geno was a backup for 8 years. That's different. Baker, we all knew Baker was good. He was on the wrong fit. The Browns weren't the right fit for him. I think Tampa is. He's got good weapons, a good defense, a fan base that loves him, and a somewhat easy schedule. He's comfortable in Tampa. Let's talk some Jayden Daniels, though. I wasn't all that impressed, to be honest. People were really hyping up Jayden Daniels. The fantasy gurus among us were in love with Jayden Daniels because he did. If you're a fantasy guy, 88 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He put up fantasy points, and I think he will. But he reminds me less of Lamar and more of RG3 in the sense that, and this is no shade on RG3, but RG3, Lamar, for all the running he does, Lamar's a good quarterback. He can throw, he can make good throws. RG3 was a true run-first quarterback. RG3 was like a knockoff Michael Vick. There's his helmet coming off. The fear there is, A, Daniels will suffer the same injury fate as RG3. B, not everyone can be Michael Vick. There have been run-first quarterbacks that have succeeded in this league, but not many. RG3 was good for a couple seasons. Tim Tebow was good for a couple seasons. But more and more often, even the best runners, who do we think of when we think of the best runners? Lamar. Lamar didn't win MVP with his legs alone. Josh Allen also throws maybe the best deep ball in the league as far as arm strength goes. Jalen Hurts. That might be a better comparison, but I still don't think it's perfect. Tyler, who we never have really believed in. So my fear there is that he's going to run around too much. Again, it was his first week, but also, what weapons does he have? Terry McLaurin kind of disappeared. Zach Ertz is very old for a tight end. I don't know. I'm not really in on the Commanders. I had them winning 8 games. Kind of worried about that. I feel like they looked more like a 5 or 6 win team yesterday, but Jayden Daniels could improve, and he could totally prove me wrong.